What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. This week's episode is episode 101. With me, as always, my co-host Matt Small. Looking good, buddy. Nice new haircut.
Thanks, buddy. Nice new haircut. Shaved the beard.
You're a new man.
Full-blown reset.
Yeah, my dog doesn't even recognize you.
No. I walked upstairs. I saw Luna, and she's just like, who the hell is this guy?
New year, new you.
Yep.
That's
I
great.
feel like you got to shave the beard ever so often. I don't do it too much, but there's times when I do. And
I bring it low, but dude, it covers too much body weight for me. It shaves like 20 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, I got like 2 chins sitting under here. It's amazing. I probably have like a couple donuts tucked in here too, a little extra food.
It feels so
Stash some
weird.
snacks.
Like, without a beard, I just look weird. I don't know how to explain it. But
I agree. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like every time I do it, though, I realize like the beard really covers up a lot. Like your skin gets dry. So like when I fully shaved, I was like, wow, I am just. So I sat there with like lotion, just like got my face done.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna grow it back out.
A little refresh. Maybe I'll lose some weight and then shave my beard. I would probably have to do it in that order, though. I wouldn't.
I can't remember you without a beard.
I know. I did it once, and my wife was like, "You're never gonna do that again." I don't know what my daughter would do too. I remember when I was younger, my father shaved his head for the first time when he was going bald, and now he just shaves his head all the time. But when he first did it, my sister was like probably 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And she just like looked at him, like bawled her eyes out, and like went to her room. Like, I'm not talking to you.
My niece Aaliyah doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I came out of the bath. Oh, it wasn't even. I just came out of the bathroom. I did it in the morning, or in the afternoon, and then around nighttime I came home, and Aaliyah's just like, "Why do you look different?" And then she kept staring at me. She goes, "Oh, I don't like that." And she goes, "Nope, grow it back. Like you need
That's
the
funny.
beard." Yep.
That's funny. I'm gonna do it gradually, I think, and like bring the beard in a little bit as spring comes, and then hopefully walk and go for a run or hit the gym.
Use a trimmer.
No, I don't. A treadmill?
A trimmer.
A trimmer. No, not usually. My barber does my beard for me.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Eric at Quincy Cuts.
Nice. I was gonna go there for mine, but I went to was it H&W?
I don't know that one. Is it in Dorchester or Quincy?
No, it's in Quincy. They did a hell of a job.
What's it near?
It's in Quincy, right next to Bravo's Pizza. What's that bar?
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yep.
Yep, right
All
there.
right, cool.
Is it?
Nice.
I think it's H&W or G&W. They did a hell of a job, though. Awesome job.
Good stuff.
But
First time in there?
Second time. Fucking year ago now at this point. On the podcast, we had the Viking haircut.
Yep.
I went to them for it. But it was funny because you talked about the beard trimming. When I was there, some guy was in there just like laid back getting like the beard trimmed and stuff. And as I'm getting the haircut, he like wakes up. He goes, "Dude, I passed out." Like that was so comfortable. I was like, "Dude,
Oh, dude, I've done that once or twice too. Like barbers can kind of tell like when you start dozing.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
like,
"Oh, let this guy chill."
I don't know. I feel like it might be easier for a barber to just be like, "He's passed out."
Yeah, until like he wakes up and he's like, "Zoom," and it's like,
Oh,
dude,
shit.
my beard." All right, enough haircut stuff.
Yep.
Let's get into some hockey here. We have a couple familiar faces returning to the Washington Capitals this week. Tom Wilson and Nick Backstrom are back for the Capitals. They return for the game versus Columbus this week. Capitals would go on to win the game 1-0. Wilson is coming back from ACL surgery. He had 24 goals and 28 assists last season. Backstrom is returning from hip resurfacing surgery and had 6 goals and 25 assists in 47 games played last season. The hip resurfacing surgery is kind of new. I think there's only been a couple guys. He might be the first NHLer to get it done, but it's very new technique, and let's see how it plays out for him.
Yeah.
Caps are currently 4th in the Metro, 3 points behind the Rangers in 3rd and 12th in the league. This will be a nice little lift for them, and I'd like to see them go on a little run here, hopefully.
Yeah, ACL surgery is really give or take for like a lot of players, but I feel like you can come back for it. It's just like the hip stuff, especially for hockey players, especially for goalies. It's such like it's such a give or take. Like Nick Backstrom, it's one of those where the surgery went really well and he recovered really well and he's gonna be fine, or he's still like not 100% and it might be something that he's just might be having a, I don't want to say call it quits, but be like might be something down the road. It's like, hey, like I've been still fighting this for like the past like couple seasons. I think it's time to hang him up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marchand just came back from hip stuff too, and he's looking pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
Tuukka Rask, on the other hand, came back from hip stuff, played a couple games, and then had to hang it up.
Do it.
You know,
goals are
too
just
painful.
different. Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, a nice little milestone over here for MarcAndre Fleury in Minnesota. He hit 5th all-time in games played by a goalie with 966. He's behind Terry Sawchuk in 4th with 971. Patrick Roy with 1,029 games played. Roberto Luongo with 1,044. And Martin Brodeur with 1,266. So
Good man.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think that he'll have a shot at taking second place, but I don't think he's ever going to reach that first place mark.
No, it's wild.
He'd probably have to play 3 seasons, two or three more seasons to get second.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do it though. Like how long do you have? How long do you give Fleury till?
I'd say another 2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
He could be riding out into the sunset if no one's interested in him
Yeah.
right now. I'd say like the stats aren't really there.
No.
The level of play has fallen back a little bit, but
Right. And we're still only halfway through this season, so we got
assume he's got another 20 starts, maybe.
maybe Ty Patrick Waugh, maybe for third.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it'll be
possibly.
close.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many games Roberto Luongo had. I know he's been in the league for a while, but I was like, wow. But then to think about it, where he was the guy in Florida for both Florida and Vancouver Canucks. Like, they just
Towards the
game
end in the
games.
Canucks, it kind of seemed like he was becoming a 1A, 1B with Schneider, and there was one other guy too after
Eddie
or
Lack.
before. Yeah, Eddie Lack was pretty good for him too.
Yeah.
So
Good for him. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Roberto Luongo, Hockey Hall of Fame today put up a post on Instagram. They had Roberto Luongo's mask. Remember when they put him as captain?
yes,
I guess it wasn't painted on. Like, there's just it's literally like a sticker that they
what on his jersey?
on the mask. And remember he had the C on the chin of his mask.
I did not remember that. No,
Oh, you don't remember that?
no, that's
Yeah,
funny.
apparently it wasn't painted on. It was just like a little sticker that they had. But I kept thinking of wow, what a weird. Even as a goalie, I just don't think captaincy should be in the hands of a goaltender.
Doesn't make sense. You're on such an island. You're not near the players. Like you can't really rah the guys mid game.
No, not at all. You're not on the bench. You're not riling anyone up. You're exactly what you just said. You're in the crease. It's kind of a weird. And I think that put a lot on Roberto Luongo at the time too. You're a goalie trying to it's such a mental game, and you're trying to hold your mental game in playoff situations while also having to be the captain for your entire team that's on the fucking bench. So
It does say a lot to his character and his leadership, though, to even be, to even have the thought cross a team's mind to make the goalie the captain. It's just, a big shout out to him, and it shows a lot about his character as a person, never mind as a hockey player.
oh yeah, 100%. I think they gave it a go, and I don't know. I don't know. Just want to move on from that. I just thought Roberto Luongo, nothing really against him. I definitely think as just a person, as a player, deserved the C. Just the position he was in, I don't think needed the C.
Mm-hmm.
That was just my thought. Because wasn't it very fucking short-lived? They gave him the C, and was it a season? Maybe
Yeah,
two,
I think
got
it
rid
was
of?
less than a season, I want to say. I'm not 100% though.
Yeah, I just remember it being very, very short-lived. But I want to talk about something else here. Connor McDavid. Me and you are gonna have a little talk about this because I want to know what your perspective is. Connor McDavid has worn the same pair of socks his whole career. The company stopped producing the specific socks, and he refuses to try any other kind. To top that off with Connor McDavid, there's a story with Sidney Crosby, who has worn the same jock, the same cup his entire career. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put the photos down there. Crosby's cup is
Please don't. That's disgusting,
destroyed
dude. So
compared
gross.
to Connor McDavid's socks. But is there anything in your goalie bag that you almost kind of refuse to not let die?
No, definitely not. I mean, the listeners all know now. I am not the mental midget, the gear nerd, the it doesn't matter. I think I could put those pads on and play just as well as if I had my pads on. Nothing gets in my head like that.
Nothing?
No,
Okay.
it's fine. And I think it's disgusting to wear socks for that long.
Vile.
You can see in the picture that the socks halfway through change colors, and that's not a design where half of the foot is one color. It's he's worn them since he was that small as a child, and his foot has grown that much that's where the ankle should be.
Mm-hmm.
But his ankle is all the way up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just buy a new pair of socks, man. Especially socks. That's such a weird thing to do. I mean, I get Patrick Barlow riding out the skates and being on his last pair. The company's not making those anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm that's just nuts. And the fact that these multi-million-dollar companies, I understand that it's profit margins, things like that, but don't even take the time to consider it when arguably one of the most important people in the world, I guess, right?
Right.
I shouldn't say it like that, but there's a massive spotlight on this person where millions of people watch them. So why not step up and be that one company? Be yeah, here's
the
those socks you
socks.
like. Here's the skates that you like. We'll keep making them for you.
Keep making them. Yep. I talked to you a while ago about Tuukka Rask. His glove, his Epic 8800's font stopped completely making them, but they specifically made them for him,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for Tuukka because I don't know what the hell he do. Imagine having to keep like repalming a glove over and over again since he was very specific to that glove. But now I'm thinking about what's in my. I used to like ride shit out, but not anymore. Like the things I switched over to, I really don't have any problems with. My pants though, I noticed have ripped, like my actual like goalie pants, and I need new ones. But those might be the ones where I was actually like this close to be like, let me ride them out. Like I wonder if I could get like shells to like put over them.
Yeah, I think you definitely could, right?
Yeah.
I just realized too while you were talking that I wear the same like kind of socks all the time. They're and one, and they're like, the mid calf socks.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't need them to be and one brand. Like they can just be different mid calf socks. They just need to be athletic socks.
Right.
And the same thing with my Under Armour shirt. I always wear like those, real tight Under Armour, sweat shirts or whatever underneath. So
yeah, I wear those Bauer leg socks you can get at like Pure Hockey. Love them. I just love the feel of them. Like keeps it like your legs tight and everything. I don't know. How to
you gave
explain
me a pair of those very thin hockey socks rather than like the old school like cotton ones that are real thick and like cut resistant almost. And when I play with those new ones, I feel so much quicker, lighter, like more agile.
Right,
I don't know why, but
it's like not tight to you. You're more flexible with it.
And like I can tell where my leg is specifically. So like I think I might switch over to those.
Oh yeah,
and just be done with the old crappy cotton ones.
I made that switch a while ago. I refuse to go back like that. Those types of socks I fucking love.
Yeah, I don't know. I did like the cotton ones for a long time, but it's just I feel like they weigh me down when they really don't. I think that's a mental thing.
Yeah, it's like a mental thing.
Yeah.
They are a little heavier though. I remember years ago, like that's all I had, so like that's all I could wear.
Yeah, that was like the hockey sock.
Yep. But the gear just in general has evolved so much within like the past 5-10 years at this point now.
Yeah.
It's wild. I feel like every year like the gear just keeps changing.
Even when you look at like early 2000s goalies, they look like they could be from the 80s compared to like what we're wearing now. It's such a time jump.
Yeah, we're watching PK Subban. They did like a little memorial thing for him and like his goals and everything.
Memorial's not the word. I forget what it is,
What's
though.
the word I'm looking for?
It's something in honor of him. Memorial's like if you die. Yeah, tribute. There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
And they're showing his goals from 5 seasons ago, and I'm looking at like the pads of the goalies. I'm like, God, how old is this? You know, it's weird how in such short of a time like everything has really changed.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you about the Bauer Canucks. Because you brought them up. You took a photo of it today. They're like
$900. Ridiculous.
And I was finding out that a lot of pros have actually switched back to their trues, one pieces or two pieces, because the Bauer Canucks, though I think it's just a cool, great idea where it just makes everything so much easier to just literally just like snap into place. I guess the buckle for it's very flimsy and either like breaks off really very easy by like a shot, or just like if you put it on too tight, it breaks off, and a lot of guys are just like, nah, I'm just gonna opt out.
I'm like all for these guys innovating and upgrading the gear and making things better. Like 2-3 years ago they came out with the boots with no cowlings on them, and I was all about that. Like that was one of the first new skates that I bought, and it looks like a player skate. It doesn't have that goofy white case over it, and now that's the only way you see goalie skates. Like they don't really make them with the stupid cowling anymore.
No,
but for the Bauer Canucks, I was like, this just doesn't work. Like, the example I brought up was skiing and snowboarding. You see those on those boots because they're not made for, repeated impact over time. They're made to go down a mountain. You're not going to, like, run into anything. You're not going to get a puck shot at them.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of thing that just isn't going to work, I don't think, I did like, there was an interesting piece of the Bauer Canucks where the back heel like lifted up as you angled your ankle forward. When you lean forward, it flexes more with you. I did like that, and I think that'll be something that'll be more common. It'll almost be like spring-loaded skates, especially in like player skates.
Yeah.
I think it'll help them get a lot more speed and strength out of their stride.
This is definitely like their first model for it, so it's just like it's figuring things out on the
I think the buckle will be gone though. I think players will stick with the laces.
The buckle was weird. I keep thinking like the rollerblades. You know how you get like the rubber piece and then like the clip?
Yep.
I wonder if like that would be even better. You just like the same like concept.
Yep.
I wonder if that's
could be. Personally, like I think no matter how far down the line it gets, I think I'll always be a lace guy.
A lace guy. I like them tight.
Yeah.
That would worry me how it like Depending on if the skate had more of them, but like I know the Canuck just had like the one, maybe two buckles that like keeps everything in place, and I don't know if it's just too loose for my game.
I don't know if they ever brought them to skates, but they do have like goalie. Yeah. I don't know if they ever brought them to skates. They do have ski and snowboard boots that have a rotating wheel like this, and then wires that are attached to it. So
I
as
know
you
what you're
tighten
talking
it, the
about.
wires get
Yep.
tighter.
So,
But I think that's the same shit.
so Brian. Actually, I don't even know if I can even say that now because I was at Pure Hockey messing around with gloves while I was getting my skate shopping. Brian's Sub-Zero gloves, they had that. You know how like you
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
they had
Yep.
like the Velcro strip to tighten it or whatever. They had that. It was like you pull it out and then twist it and then keep it locked in place. I actually really like that.
Yeah, see there it kind of makes sense, but like on a skate, I don't know, it's too much.
No. Like all it would take is like a puck to hit it and then it pops off, right? So
Or even just like the constant flexing of your ankles, forward, back, up, down,
just
you know,
breaking it, yeah.
wear and tear. I think the glove makes a lot of sense because that's an area where nothing really happens, back of your wrist, you know.
You're about to try something new too. You got like I don't know if I'd call step steel, but your steel on your blades on your skates broke. And
Yeah, mine broke mid-game. I knew it happened when I did it. I basically went to make a save, and then it was like to the right side of the net. He took the shot, made the save, and then when I went to reset, when I snapped my leg back behind me to like stand up, I slammed it against the post, but it was the boot basically. Like I didn't think I hit the blade, but I just hit it so hard. I was like, there's no way it's not broken. I got off the ice at the end of the game. Thank God it didn't break during game because we'd have been screwed. And I took a look at it, and it was just like fucking right down the middle in half. So I snapped that out. I went to Pure Hockey first. They didn't have any steel for me. So I had to go down to Norwood to Monkey Sports. Yeah, they were all out my size.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I needed a size 9. My skate's a 10.5, but the blade's a 9. So I went down to Monkey Sports and got that taken care of.
Were you able to watch them do it? Because you have the trigger.
No. But yeah, the trigger was easy for me to take out and put in.
Oh, you already did it. Okay, you did it yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd be like, yeah, the trigger's pretty cool. I was actually trying to mess around with it on mine, and the trigger, I think might get some rust on it. Maybe I was like trying to like really mess with it. I had to get to the point where I was like holding it with like my two fingers, and really pushing it, and it finally kind of popped out. So I was like, oh, okay.
It's something that you never use, and it's always wet, like from skating and then dry. So probably did have some rust on it.
Yeah, I was telling you, you're just gonna love it. Like I have that on my bar 2S's, and you're gonna feel taller on the ice, but your pushes. You're not going to have to lift your legs as much anymore. You're just going to be, like, very flat on the ice. So it's going to be good. Between the socks and new steel, you're going to be like, ooh, new goalie.
Grease Lightning.
New you, right? Speaking of Grease Lightning, I didn't look into it, but I didn't look into it at all. But In Goal Mag was talking about NHL goalies putting Vaseline on, like, their pads and
I saw that, too. I wasn't interested in that.
I was curious. I'm going to read it later on, but
the thing that bothers me about articles like that, like, there's all these gear nerd goalies that are going to go out there and be, like, doing that, like, greasing up their shit. They're like, oh, if they do it in the NHL, I got to do it here. It's like, buddy, no. Like, remember in the group chat when I fired that picture of the $900 pads, one of our buddies was, or the $900 skates, one of our buddies was like, you deserve it. And I was like, I don't need that for a D-League, men's league to get pumped 5-1, you know? Like, I don't know. You don't need to be these NHL guys. No. You're not facing the same shots they are, like, there's a reason there's like a tier system to all the gear that's out there.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah, there's
Tell you what, it is nice having top of the line shit though.
Yep. I will go top of the line for stuff like I actually fucking need. Like it's gotten to the point now, just like I'm not gonna skip out on like a chest protector or just some kind of protection because I just refuse to get hurt.
Last week, I literally before that game got done telling a couple of my buddies like the next piece of gear that I need to upgrade. I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to retire. Just hang them up. I think I'm done. And then my fucking skate blade breaks. I'm like, well, that doesn't really count. No. $160 though for just the blades, just a little steel that goes in your skate.
That's wild.
I was like, dude, should I just buy the $900 skates? Not that much of a stretch.
$900 from $160? That is a stretch and a half. That's a huge stretch. But it got me thinking about the Vaseline. Got me thinking of like back in the day. I don't know if you must have been playing at the time. Remember the Magic Erases stuff?
Yeah, that was so lame.
Goalies.
So lame. Why do you want your pads to look new? It looks like you never get hit with the puck.
Some people just love it. I remember like the memes for it were just hilarious. Like Guys,
People would roast you for it on
oh, yeah.
GGSU.
You'd
They'd post like before and afters, and they'd be like, "Nice, dude, looks great,
nice dude, yeah, cool,
awesome, good job."
Still like 5 years old, you know.
You don't like getting hit with the puck?
Yeah, right.
Why are you playing goalie?
Yeah, it would just be fun. There's this video I saw that was just hysterical. It's the dude opens up the door to like some hockey store. You can tell it's got all hockey stuff, and he goes, "Hey, where's your Magic Erasers at?" Like they fucking sell.
Oh my
But
god!
the only reason why I thought about it too was because literally this week, is it In Goal Mag? Following them on YouTube. I think it might be In Goal or something, but they literally have now created. It's not Magic Erasers. It's literally like a hockey product to wash the hockey puck off like your pads and stuff. And as soon as I wash it, I'm like, just get the Magic Erasers. Just save time and money. Just get it. If you really want to fucking, clean your pads out, just get the Magic Erasers.
Yep.
I used to do that.
We got a new washing machine here too a couple weeks ago. I'm kind of tempted. You know how like most washing machines that are top load, they have that big pole in the middle.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't put any of my shit in there. This one doesn't have it, so I'm very tempted to put like my pants,
Your
my
chest
chest in there and get it
protectors.
going. But like, I don't know. I think the wife will kill me if something goes wrong.
Dude, that shit's vile. I guess I don't know if I've ever seen it in washes, but people do it in like their bathtubs.
Yeah, it's disgusting how black the water comes out. Dirty.
They put something in the water and just like leave it, let it soak, and like the before and after, like the after they go in, it's just grime. Like,
I've seen people go to like
disgusting.
the actual laundromat and put their shit in there too. But,
Oh,
like,
really?
I'd feel kind of bad like going in like 75 cents and just fucking up the washing machine. Like, here you go, bud. Just finished washing my chest protector and goalie pants. You can put your dirty clothes in there now so it can smell like me.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's the
Right?
unfortunate part. The hockey smell is just gonna stick on to whoever uses it next. It's disgusting. Oh, vile. Nothing's worse than when I was in Toronto. So throughout the entire week, you just leave like all your stuff in like the lockers. And overnight, they just put the fans inside with the doors closed, just like to dry everything off. But I remember, like, by Wednesday, like, you'd open up that door at 5 in the morning, and just, like, the combination of everyone's stench just gets you right in the face. And you're just like, oh, my God, this is disgusting.
Oh.
I don't mind my own stench. Like, you get used to it. But when you have a combination of everyone's, you're like, oh, this is bad.
Foul.
I'm getting sick right now thinking about it. But, you know what I do want to talk about? Because I want to move on from this topic that we had. The Penguins. I feel like we just talked about the Penguins, too. They did some cool-ass shit this week that you actually sent me. So I'm just going to read out what the fucking 3 paragraphs that they have. So the Penguins had just defeated the Coyotes 4-1 on Sunday night, ending a 6-game losing streak. The travel plan was to immediately return to Pittsburgh, where they haven't been since leaving for the Winter Classic on December 31st. Instead, they traveled through the middle of the night to Montreal, arriving at 4 a.m. Then they slept for a brief period of time before attending the funeral of Claude Fouquet, father of Chris Letang. While the Penguins were on the western swing of the road that took them through Las Vegas and Phoenix, some of the team's veterans came together with the coaching staff to discuss a mutual desire to attend Fouquet's funeral in Quebec. Mike Sullivan was not only on board with the plan, but was also one of the people who spearheaded the decision. That's really cool for like an entire team, an organization to come together like that. Like when you're like in the opposite end of like an entire country to like come together and be like, let's find a way to fucking get over there and, be with our
it's pretty cool. I don't know if they mentioned there if they surprised him with it, but like that's such a cool thing to do.
Right.
For the whole team to show up at a time where, it's entirely unexpected because the team literally has games on the other side of the map and they're scheduled that way so that, you bang out 2 or 3 of them and you don't have to worry about traveling like that. And then they decide to hoof it back and make it to something like that. Like that's huge, especially for a guy like Tanger who's been with the team for so long.
Oh yeah. Talk about veteran presence, Tanger, like Malkin, Crosby, like he was just part of that entire group, you know. So I guarantee you, this meant just so much to him. But you made a cool point that maybe they didn't say anything at all, just kind of just like walked in and be like, hey, we're here for you.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking. I didn't check the notes or anything, but if Letang didn't play in that game, he might not have known. But if he played, like, they would all just go on the jet together, Right.
So that's just awesome team chemistry right there. So awesome. That was just cool news that I just wanted to throw in there. Actually, that you sent me. So I remember reading that. I was like, wow, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But you want to know what else is cool? She's 14 years old and she's absolutely lighting it up right now. Nela Lopusanova plays in the Slovakia Women's League and in 6 games scored 15 goals and hit 25 points. In 4 games, Lopusanova has notched 7 goals and 10 points to lead Team Slovakia into the quarterfinals. And in the quarterfinals game, pulled off the beautiful Michigan goal that was just, man, it was beautiful. It was Zegras, you know? She leads the tournament with 10 points, which is most for both men and women in under-18 competition, and was the first to pull off the Michigan goal. No woman has hit more than 3 points in this competition.
What?
Yeah. Her 7 goals tied Connor Bedard and sat behind Connor McDavid for most ever in that competition. In 2021-2022, for the Miss HKM Zelina in the Slovakian Women's League, she scored 25 goals and 15 assists in just 6 games played, lighting it the fuck
Dude, that
up.
makes no sense to me. In 4 games?
4 games, just
Wow.
lighting
7
up.
goals and 10 points, and no one else has more than 3.
3
That's
points.
insane.
That's wild, right?
Head and shoulders above her competition.
Oh yeah, 100%. And did you saw that I'm gonna call it the Zegras goal, but the Michigan goal?
Don't call it the Zegras goal.
It's the
but
Michigan
yes,
goal.
the Michigan goal. Yep.
It was beautiful, man. It was
Dude,
just,
there's
like,
gonna be
perfectly
kids in like
placed.
10 years that are gonna call it the Zegras goal.
It
just
is.
because he
You
fucking
just
did
thought
it.
about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
It's the Michigan,
Yeah.
but he brought it back.
Yeah.
I think so. He's like
Yeah.
that new generation.
I mean, he's one of the first guys to do it in the NHL. Obviously not the first, but one of the first guys to
one
master
of the first
it.
guys,
You know?
yeah, yep. And he's gotten a bunch of NHL players to try it too. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, they're all working on it.
hmm But yeah, awesome for Lopusanova here. She is just blowing up here. She's got a lot of talk from Hillary Knight and Amanda Kessel and the whole PHF and just women's, and it's unbelievable that like she's so good. She's beating men's and women's just like all-time records.
Mhm.
That's how great she is. So be on the lookout for her, and it's incredible that she's just 14 years old. So it just can only get better.
Yeah, definitely cool to see.
Imagine 4 more years, 18-year-old her, like, better than this.
Yeah. I would almost like to see her go to a U.S. college or Canadian juniors and play like with the men, with the boys.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like she could slot in somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
A D1
100%.
college program, try and do something there.
There was a girl that was really good. I'm dating myself back here. It was like a YouTube video from years ago, and she was a really good goalie, and she fit in with the boys team, and she was like one of the best goalies in that league. I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to find it. I might. If you guys watching the YouTube, I'll put a photo.
I thought there was a female goalie that we covered in the QMJHL for a little bit too. He played with a men's club,
the men's too.
a Canadian juniors team. There was a goalie.
They could keep up.
Yep.
That's where it's looking. Wild. The wild west right now in the hockey world. But let's move on here. So another record for the Boston Bruins. With their 32nd win against the Ducks, they tied for second all-time in most wins through 41 games. And first is the 1929-1930 Boston Bruins, who had 36. And not surprisingly, but surprisingly, the 2018-2019 Tampa Bay Lightning sits tied in second with the Boston Bruins. The Lightning would finish that season with a 62-16-4 record, but would be swept in the first round of the playoffs by the Columbus Blue Jackets. That record for the Tampa Bay Lightning places them second best regular season record in NHL history, right behind the 1996 Detroit Red Wings, who went 62-13-7. So you thought I was going to talk Boston, and here we are talking about Tampa Bay Lightning. How do you feel about that?
That's very nice.
I did it for you.
I mean, I'm glad you put in there exactly what happened to the Tampa Bay Lightning the season that they had that record, because the President's Trophy doesn't always get the Stanley Cup trophy. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So we'll see what happens come playoff time. I know the Bruins did drop a game versus Seattle this week.
3-0.
So that was their
Wild.
5th regular season loss of the season and their first regular season loss at home. So, I mean, in order to beat those Red Wings, they can only drop, 7 more games for the season?
Something like that, yeah.
So we'll see how they end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the team's in a good spot and they'll be able to maintain. I would also kind of like to see them get something at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly sure what, but, depth is always good for the playoffs. I think Jake DeBrusk is still currently out right now with a broken foot. He did that in the Winter Classic game, which was kind of weird because he scored the game-winning goal with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in that game. but he now has a broken foot and has missed a couple games because of it. So kind of interesting.
Kind of interesting. I thought I saved it. I guess not. You sent it or I sent it. Just kind of like an interesting fact with the Seattle Kraken. Was it the 20 points?
Yeah, there are 2 teams in the NHL right now with 20 players that actively have 10 or more goals or 10 or more points.
Yep, I got it, yeah. So it's the teams with most 20-plus point players, and it's the Seattle Kraken and Boston Bruins are both tied with 10 players who have 20-plus points.
Mm-hmm. So I got it backwards.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting to see Seattle Kraken up there. And then, like, the Boston Bruins played and be like, oh, okay, yeah, now I see it. Yeah.
Is it Andrei Burakovsky on the Kraken? He's the one leading the team in points.
Yep.
Jordan Eberle having a great season, too. Matty Beniers taking the rookie trophy from Logan Thompson's glove.
Matty Beniers has been unbelievable for the Seattle
it's nuts
Kraken.
to see.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. So I this is kind of interesting. So I got it right here. I know you don't, but there's 6 teams tied for 8. So with 8 20-plus point players on their team. There's the Washington Capitals, the Calgary Flames, Vegas Golden Knights, Tampa Bay Lightning, and then the 2 teams that are kind of shocking me the most for 8 players with 20-plus points is the Vancouver Canucks and the LA Kings. I get the LA Kings have been doing really well, but the Vancouver Canucks, who have been just ass shit this season.
I think the point that gets proven on both sides, yours and the stats side, is the top performers on the Vancouver Canucks haven't been getting the job done. So it's kind of everyone else kind of needs to pull the weight a little bit, and that's what leads to something like that.
That's wild. It's wild how stats work.
Is it Wild?
It's Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota Wild. Oh, How about that? Becoming Wild.
Ooh, I like that. Even though we're not talking about the Minnesota Wild.
We were a second ago. It's wild.
It's wild. It's wild. But
we can cut that for all the fans.
Yeah, just
see you later.
Yeah, see you later. Just a little dead air for a while. Moving on. I have some. I don't know why I put this in here. I just thought it was like hockey shit. Just like hockey player, tough, rugged hockey player type news. The brutal hockey moment of the season so far. Capitals' John Carlson had to get his ear reattached after taking a slap shot to the head on December 23rd. And like the savage he is, the next day he's home making Christmas cookies for Santa Claus. What a leg.
Disgusting. His ear.
His ear. Thank you.
His ear had to get reattached. That's disgusting. But you know what it's better than? Having a ruptured fucking nut, dude. Did you see that? Was it Blake Wheeler? I didn't even want to cover it. That's how, it makes my stomach hurt.
That was last week, right?
Yeah. Was it Blake Wheeler? It was someone on the Jets.
It was someone on the Jets.
Oh, it was brutal, though. Disgusting.
It was a shot. Oh, God, this is my memory, too. It was just a shot where he had his legs open and just wasn't it a goal, too? It redirected off his nuts.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not.
I think that was it. I think
all for nothing.
Oh, God. And then to realize he just kept playing with a ruptured.
He came back and played. What a savage psycho, dude. It's disgusting.
That's vile. Now I'm thinking about it. What's worse? I thought this John Carlson thing.
I would rather have my ear ripped off entirely. You don't even need to fucking reattach it, dude. No thanks. You can keep it. Oh, that would hurt so bad.
God, right in the boys. I just showed you the old Yevgeny Nabokov getting hit in the boys too. I didn't realize. I totally forgot about him. I loved Nabokov back in the day. He was just one of my favorite goalies to just watch. But the announcers for that were just got one right in the boys, and the announcers just having a grand old time with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's peak, just NHL commentary. Where you could just really just
back then
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be what did it say? He goes, this is high quality replay for you fans, and he's for Nabokov, it's high quality. It was so good. But I think the next one too, Nabokov leaves the ice after a game, and I don't know who's in the suit or whatever, but very quickly it gives him a little nut tap and just kind of runs off the ice like a savage. Why is it so funny for guys? Why is nut tap so just
That's not funny to me, dude. I don't enjoy that one bit.
I've gotten them plenty of times, but I don't know what the hell it is. It's still seeing nut taps. I'm this is maybe you just gotta laugh it off. I think that's what it is.
Oh no,
there's just nothing you could do.
Just feel their pain.
Oh God, in the stomach and everything. You know how just your stomach just hurts for a while.
Dude, Emma gets me all the time. So if I'm sitting on the couch with her, she's having a bottle before bed. I have her on my left arm, like co-pilot mode, sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And when she's done and wants to get up, she swings her right leg like over my left leg and comes down with the heel. And I'm like, no, dude, stop. She does it all the time.
Me and my teammates were actually just talking about this. It wasn't this week, but it was last week. We're just talking about how kids, for some reason, have a target. Like, and
oh,
it's
dude,
just,
they're
it's
right at that
perfect.
height. You know what I mean?
It's just wild. Like, I remember just like
wild,
constantly getting hit there. I'm like,
I'm
my God.
I'm gonna have to ban that word from you, dude. You can't say wild ever again.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just too much. Too much this episode.
What's the new word?
You could come up with anything else but wild.
All right, that's crazy. But oh my
That's
God,
wild.
That's wild. You know who does it? Our friend Kyle. That's. He says it so much that now it's like suck. You know, like you hear something say so much.
All right, enough with the wild. Let's move over to Toronto, your favorite team.
My favorite team.
We do have a little Matt Murray update here. This was the weird situation we talked about earlier this season where he kept, knocking the net off during games. So there were a lot of coaches complaining about it. Matt Murray's ability to dislodge the net, kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. So now there was a, top-down camera view video of Matt Murray where he's like intentionally rocking the net back and forth to make it dislodge, like before the game starts in warm-ups, what have you. Mm-hmm. And he's just like kind of finding that sweet spot of like where it comes off, how I need to hit this, like that kind of thing.
How can I dislodge
definitely
this?
Weird, definitely shady. I don't know, man. Like he's one of the better, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say he's one of the better goalies in the league, and I'm sure he is statistically, but one of the better teams in the league for sure. Mm-hmm. The NHL Competition Committee is apparently going to be looking into this situation. So
I'd be curious what they find. I'd be curious when this was. It was very kind of out of context, too, because, like...
Yeah, right? It could have been practice. But, like, either way, like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. It's like,
I've never once done that. I've never sat there and grabbed the crossbar and shook it to see if it's coming off.
The more I thought about it, the more I wonder if it's happened to Murray so much that now it's in his head. Or, like, I got to check to see if this is going to come off easy. Yeah. And so, like, that's, like, his way of just, like... All right, I can only put this much weight on the post before it comes off. But I've seen him just like literally lean on the post and it just comes off. So I don't know what I don't know what Matt Murray's doing, but like
could be just weird circumstance kind of thing, where Toronto's so like on their team when something like this happens, they're like, it couldn't have happened 3 times, dude. No way. We got to watch him.
There's no fucking way.
I don't know.
And now you just see him, Matt Murray, just kind of rock it. Now it's just gonna be a thing too. Every time he starts the game, people are just gonna be like, what's he doing down there?
And know what's funny, too? Him being on the Leafs after last season when Austin Matthews skated, like, teeth first into the crossbar going around the net. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of funny just seeing those two worlds get intermingled.
What did Austin Matthews say? He goes,
said, I just saw it sitting there, so I figured I'd skate right into it. Jackass answer to the reporter, dude. Hilarious.
It was such a good, response to, like, such a dumb question. You're like, yeah, man, I just really wanted to fall into that fucking post. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think this just happened within, like, the past 2 days. So I think next week we'll have something on what they find or if they even do anything.
Probably hear nothing. Be sick.
Probably won't hear anything. And it'll happen another 5 times before next week, too.
He's gonna be on his good behavior for the rest of the season, I'll say.
Yeah, no more net dislodges. Maybe 1 or 2 more. That's it. But let's move on here. Crazy. So I don't know if any other team has done this. I'm sure they do, but this is more wild. Damn it, I did it again. This is crazy.
Wild, dude.
It's just wild. The Islanders' lucky 1 millionth fan. Becoming a franchise in 1972, they finally hit the mark. This week, Jennifer Bellechto was an extremely appreciated 1 millionth fan to attend a New York Islanders game. They were greeted by confetti, a drumline, team mascots Sparky and Niles, and co-owner John Ledecky, and then won the Islanders lottery. The family posed for photos with Ledecky and the mascots. The Islanders gifted them a $5,000 shopping spree at the Isles Lab team store, 1,000 Mega Millions lottery tickets, a team-signed jersey, a custom-made 1 millionth fan jersey, free beer for an entire year, a Bose speaker, Clyde Mays whiskey prize pack.
What the fuck?
A $500 Arctic's gift card, which is a winter clothing store, an illegal Mezcal prize pack, which is a liquor store.
Why is it illegal? What?
I don't know. It's just what it is.
What?
A bartender. Look it up.
Where do you get this?
ILEGAL. Not illegal, but yeah. A bartender toolkit, 2 invitations to their alumni night dinner, 2 Spotlight Club tickets for future game this season, 2 UBS club tickets for a future game this season and 50 single game tickets to be donated to charity for the Bullet Show's choice. When I say hit the fucking lottery, I say holy shit, dude. Like, what do you do? Now you're just like a fan for life after that.
Yeah, I guess it pays to be a
1 million
Islanders fan. So it's just to be clear, it's not the 1 million fan since 1972. It's the 1 million fan since they moved from their old arena to the new one.
Oh, sorry,
at UBS.
Yeah,
but
okay.
that is a lot of prizes.
I'm dead.
1,000 Mega Millions tickets. Imagine if they hit that
Imagine
too.
if they hit that. My God, I guess it pays to be a millionth fan.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I'm gonna start taking notes on fan bases and stuff and be like, oh, I don't know, the Arizona Coyotes getting close to a million fans and see if they're doing anything for me. You know?
Fly in for a game.
Be like, hey, what's going on?
And then you have to get through the ticket line at the exact right time too.
I wonder if
1 millionth fan at what's it called? At Mullet Arena. Oh wait, that can't happen because it's only 5,000 per game.
I wonder if
what if it was an away fan?
that would be
It's like fucking who'd they play? Dallas.
Dallas.
And fucking Dallas fans oh sweet, thanks. Team signed jerseys no thanks.
I wonder if they did it by the fan that walked in, or if they count the tickets sold. Like that was their millionth ticket.
Oh, maybe
sold.
that ticket was now the winning ticket.
Yeah,
because it was our millionth, and
it was
once
our
they
millionth
scan
ticket, and whoever had it,
if they scalped it to someone, and then they lost out on all that.
they had
outside,
no idea.
tickets, selling tickets.
Yeah.
Some rando buys a ticket.
Right. We're like, I don't know, I got $20. All right, yeah, I need the money. Here you go.
It was Matt selling his Vancouver Canucks tickets.
I don't want to talk about that story again. Wild.
Now you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
All right, good.
Okay.
As long as it was on purpose.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. But it's just insane that all that stuff. It's just I would have three of those things, like the $5,000 shopping spree, 1,000 Mega Millions lottery tickets, and a team-sized jersey would have been enough. But they just kept here, take more shit. We have all this stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That blew my mind.
It's a promo and a half.
Yep, it is. So all the fans out there listening in, I'll be the millionth fan somewhere. Don't worry about it. Watch me get scummed too. Do all that work and be like, hey, I don't know, sit down.
Here's a
Have fun.
koozie. Here's a koozie. Keep your beer cold.
Just
Oh, but there's no beer. You gotta go buy that. It's $14.
Apart. It's 16. Yeah, exactly.
It's $14.
All right, so this week, but last week for everyone listening in right now, Jake Ottinger's mask situation is about to be explained here. So if you guys have watched, if you guys know about it or watched it and got confused, here we are. In the Rangers vs. Stars games this week, Jake Ottinger took a backhand shot by Mika Zibanejad that broke the strap of his mask. The mask would remain on and wouldn't easily come off until Ottinger forcefully took it off. He would be called for a delay of game penalty that questioned a lot of fans. The issue here was Dallas did not have control of the puck, and at the time, Rangers Capo Kakko had possession of the puck with a scoring opportunity, which is why it was called a delay of game. So, NHL Rule 9, Uniforms 9.6, helmets. When a goalkeeper has lost his helmet and or face mask and his team has control of the puck, the play shall be stopped immediately to allow the goalkeeper to the opportunity to regain his helmet and or face mask. But when the opposing team has control of the puck, play shall only be stopped if there is no immediate and impending scoring opportunity, but Capo Kakko did. This stoppage of play must be made by the referee. That's why it was a delay game. That's why that ref made a solid call that had us all question what the hell's going on here. I just don't think you see it enough. That's why we're just like, the hell's going on?
Yeah, and my main line of thinking is these goalies, the second that these straps come off, they want their entire mask off, which is kind of nuts to me because, I don't know, let's break it down. What percentage of shots on goal end up hitting a goalie's mask?
Right.
I don't know.
I get that.
2% less.
I get that you want to see. Sometimes it gets loose and gets all wobbly and
But
shit.
dude, if that's really that much of an issue, I don't know, prop it into your chest real quick, or use the glove to hold it up for a minute. I don't know. I think there's a lot of solutions, and I understand that it's your head. You need to keep that, more safe than the rest of your body. But they're making such a big deal out of it when, like, at the end of the day, you had a buckle come undone.
Right.
It's an equipment malfunction, and, like, I don't know, that's on you. It happens.
Yep, 100%.
I don't know.
Yep.
It's kind of a negative way of looking at it, but that's how I feel about it.
No, you're right. And sometimes some guys take advantage of it. Who? Oh my God, I'm gonna lose it right now. Who was the goalie we were just talking about? We just watched. Oh man, who was it? He tried to play the puck. Was it for the Hurricanes? Missed it, and then decided just like for some reason to take off his helmet.
I thought it was the Coyotes.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Louis Domingue.
Louis Domingue.
He tried playing the puck, messed up, kind of got hit from the back, fell. You could kind of see the strap come off, but the play was in scoring position for the other team, and like nonchalantly, really just like takes off the mask and just holds it. The goal scored, and he's pissed off about it. I'm like, I don't know. Like even like for me, it's just like get back in net. Like you fucked up. It's just kind of funny how the announcer too for that play was just like, this would have happened if you didn't play the puck.
Yeah,
like,
there's such an old school mentality because like goalies back then didn't go out and play the puck like that, especially in Louis Domingue's situation. I'm sure he was a backup back then. Like,
oh yeah,
kind of funny.
Just kind of, yeah.
Get fucked, idiot.
But yeah, I guess to explain the whole Jake Oettinger situation to everyone, because again, I don't know if I sent you or you sent me that, but I remember watching it. And I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why the hell is there a delay game? But here we go. Here is that call explained, because the NHL, I don't think would explain it. That's not.
Yeah, I think that's one that they kind of sweep under the rug and just fuck you.
Exactly.
But the ref made the smart call. I mean,
to
have that kind of knowledge of the rule book, it's insane how much these refs know.
Yeah, it's great. That was pretty cool. Like the fact that we sat there, we found the ruling and everything. You're like, wow, for like something that doesn't happen that often, like he nailed it.
And any ref that you talk to says if you don't know and you're not sure, you don't make a call.
Right.
You have to know
You have to know it.
Yeah, you have to know what you're calling.
Right.
Exactly what you're doing.
Exactly. Moving on here, Rob Brindamore, who we barely talk about here on the podcast, hits another mark in the NHL. He became the third quickest NHL coach to get 200 career wins, accomplishing it in 330 games. Second is Bruce Boudreau within 326 games, and first is Dan Bylsma, who accomplished it in 316 games. He became the head coach of the Hurricanes in the 2018-2019 season. Before then, he was the assistant coach for the Canes for 7 years, starting in 2011, after playing his last season in the NHL with the organization. So congrats to Rob Brindamore, who I have nothing but respect to this coach. I thought as a player, as a coach, just like, man, this guy is just a beast.
He's a machine, yeah. And honestly, I didn't know that he's only coached 330 games. He just seems like such a top caliber, top tier coach that you'd think he'd been around for longer than that.
Yeah, right.
Like he's going to the All-Star game to be one of these coaches, and it's like he's only been doing it that long. Like that's insane to me.
It is. He just it's one of those guys, man. Just like we talked about this maybe like a month ago on the podcast, where we talk about players retiring and try to get into like management positions, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And in Rob Brindamore's case, it worked just beautifully for the organization. I think he was with the Carolina Hurricanes before he retired for 5-7 years, and so he was with the organization for years, and they just had full trust in him to be an assistant coach and then get that head coach. And look at him now, just really showing his case to be the head coach for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of crazy. Are you on NHL? Where are they right now in like the standings? Do you know?
Yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes are currently first in the Metropolitan Division, 26-9-7 record, 6-3-1 in their last 10. They have a 4-point lead on the Devils, who are tied with the Rangers for second in the division.
Wow. Are they second right now in the league, right behind the Boston Bruins? Am I wrong?
I think you are wrong. They are tied with the Maple Leafs, who also have 59 points. The Vegas Golden Knights is who I thought was ahead of them. They are in fourth with 58 points. So it is Bruins, Maple Leafs, and Hurricanes tied for second. And then the Vegas Golden Knights behind them.
Interesting.
Bruins have a massive gap, though, a 9-point lead for first in the league.
That's
big.
It's just insane. But, I mean, still can't Carolina Hurricanes, baby. That's it. Canes Nation. I'm all about it. Except the I know what I have been noticing. Are they still doing the post-game celebrations?
I would assume yes. They do so much for their fans there.
Mm-hmm.
I found out this week because I was talking about going to the April 1st Vegas Golden Knights versus Minnesota Wild game out in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that out there they have a show. You have to get to the rink 2 hours before game time, but they'll do like Cirque du Soleil in the rink. So there's
Really?
like people doing trapeze shit. Like it's a whole show. There's a live band, like bands that you actually know too. It wouldn't be like, some random band. It would be a band that you've heard of.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's on like one end of the ice, like up above like, the goal area, press box, whatever. And then apparently in Carolina, I forget what they do. They do something similar though. And they just they treat their fans like, they want to grow and develop there so much, but it's hard. It's hard to grow an NHL market in a southern city.
Right.
I think the one thing that's helping is, people that are, from around here retire to Florida. Now the most common thing to retire to is the Carolinas. So,
right.
Those people that are hockey fans their whole life now retire there and hopefully, become Carolina Hurricanes fans.
It is. Everything's kind of switching around. There's two coworkers of mine that retired. They literally bought land, built their own house in North Carolina for I think it was like $180,000. Like that was it. Like and so it's cheap down there, and they're just like all right, see you later, skedaddle.
Yeah.
And this guy's moving to Nashville too. I have a coworker of mine within like the next year is quitting and moving down there. Like it's big come up cities around that time. But Vegas, dude, hitting grand slams since getting into the NHL. It's crazy how much they do for the fans. I remember when they first came into the league. I thought their inaugural game, like the whole celebration thing, I thought that was like going to be like
a one and done.
Yeah. And then they just kept doing it. And I was like, wow, the fan service these guys do is just incredible.
It's pretty cool about Vegas too because with the shows that I was talking about, it's basically based on whoever is in Vegas at the time. Like they're not really that far booked ahead. It's like, oh, this band's in town this week, so they'll come play, an hour set, 2 hour set here. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool. Right. Rod Brindamore had me thinking though about player coaches in the NHL because, like I said, that guy's so fit he could probably beat any guy on the team in whatever push up, pull up, gym competition you can name. Mm-hmm. But the last player coach in the NHL was from 1969-70 season. He was named the head coach after Ren Blair was fired from the Minnesota North Stars team. This player is Charlie Burns. Kind of interesting.
Interesting.
But I was thinking about that, like maybe could Rod Brindamore have done it? But I just think it's become so specialized in general with positions, coaching, everything like that I don't think the league would not necessarily allow it, but a team would be kind of stupid to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why would you sacrifice having a coach on the bench 24/7 for the game to have him be playing in the game and not running things proper,
Right, exactly. Interesting.
I wonder if there's ever been a player assistant coach.
A player assistant? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Be kind of interesting.
Like a player that left and became an assistant coach?
No, like an active player on the roster. That's what a player coach is. An active player on the roster is the coach.
Oh, gotcha.
An active player on the roster that's the assistant coach.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Oh, interesting.
I think that might be a little bit easier to skate by.
Yeah. Google's our best friend. I'm sure he'll find something.
Yeah.
But we have two little bits of news for everyone here. We talked about the whole situation with Jake Oettinger, and then last week and like the week before, we've been talking about Erik Carlson. Erik Carlson's kind of been the talk of the town, especially for San Jose Sharks. And we're talking about his huge contract, shipping him, and what the San Jose Sharks can do. And we got a little bit of news with the San Jose Sharks here. So with that talk, we talked about him maybe pick up for a solid player, draft picks, but he's got an $11.5 million cap, which is too big. Apparently, we have somewhat of the answer. The Sharks are asking for 3 first-round picks for Carlson, and they said they will retain 18% of the cap. Is 18% of the 11.5 mil a sell right there for Erik Carlson?
Yeah, I think 18% might be the right number, but 3 first-round picks to go with that,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of first-round picks, man. That might be a 3-way team trade to make that happen, but I don't think they're going to get anyone to bite on that. I think the league understands that he's having a monster year. They're trying to sell high on him. If everyone in the league kind of stands strong and doesn't budge on it, which I don't know if anyone's really going to be jumping at the bit for that, I think that'll come down a little bit. Like, I could see like 2 firsts and a third, a first, a second, and a third from one team.
Right.
And it's just for an aging asset, someone whose contract probably doesn't have too much longer. What do you think? Probably 2 or 3 years left on Erik Karlsson's contract at most, I would think.
Something like that.
But for him to go to another team, I mean, who do you have in mind? Who do you think Erik Karlsson would be a good fit on?
I would wonder, and I would kind of want to see Erik Karlsson go back to Ottawa and retire there.
I've heard that so much. I hate that, dude.
I know you hate it, but like you kind of want to see it for how long Erik Karlsson's been with the Ottawa Senators. You kind of want to see like
him retire with them. Get back.
With the
so
organization.
he does have 4 more years on that contract after this season. So that is a long one.
And, 3 first-round picks too.
He's only 32 right now. I mean, 36 isn't crazy far out there, but the league is getting so young. Like, I feel like people would rather, value that ice time and pump it into another asset that can be the next Erik Karlsson,
right,
rather than pump it into a depreciating asset in Erik Karlsson.
Yeah. One thing I took away from this too, the 3 first-round picks, I think is a big sign that the San Jose Sharks know and want to start a rebuild with the organization. I think they're 28th in the league currently right now. Definitely one of the worst teams in the league, and I think they know for a fact, like, we got to figure shit out.
I think, like, a lot of teams nowadays aren't
Speaking
willing
of the
to
Sharks.
say... Sorry?
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking about the Sharks, the Oilers just beat them 7-1.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
-6 for Carlson. A lot of teams in the league nowadays, I think, don't want to say we're going into a rebuild, but there is that cut and dry line of, like, which way do you want to trend? It's we're done investing in a rebuilding asset, or we want to lean more towards, the youth and getting more young players to build around our current pieces, I don't think any team really out there is going to go out and say we are rebuilding now. Because I think it's really just you read the tea leaves and see, like, what they're doing with their picks and what they're doing with, contracts and things like that. But I just think it puts such a bad taste in fans' mouth to hear it that, like, cities will go up in arms about it. They'll be like, what the fuck? Rebuild? You have this guy here. You're wasting his career. You're doing this. Like, they just go nuts. So it's like, if you can just kind of, shade the line a little bit and not make it a solid, 110% commitment to we're fucking rebuilding. Like, it keeps fans happy. It keeps teams happy. I mean, the players too. Think about that. If you're on a team and they're like, we're rebuilding, like, you'd be like, get me the fuck out of here, dude. I'm not trying to lose for 5 seasons straight. This isn't why I signed an 8-year contract here.
And that's kind of what's going on with Chicago Blackhawks and the Vancouver Canucks.
Exactly.
And I think I don't know, especially for the Chicago Blackhawks, but I guarantee you for the Vancouver Canucks, if they're just like, hey, we're rebuilding, I'm sure the fans would just be like, yeah, we want that.
I think that's one city where, like, if the Canucks were like, hey, we're rebuilding, they'd be like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Can we fucking start doing it now?
How about we actually just build? Never mind rebuild.
What are we building on? Fucking sand? Like, what's going on? Some fucking dirt? I don't know. But, yeah, I think for sure, like, for, like, the majority of the teams, like, they don't want to say rebuild at all. They might just be like, hey, we're going to move some pieces around and figure shit out.
Yeah.
But
we're investing. We have plans to reinvest.
Exactly. But last topic of the night, going back to the Vancouver Canucks here, they make an NHL record, but it's in a bad way. The Canucks have blown the most multi-goal leads through 40 games in NHL history, with 8 times this season. 4 of them came in the beginning of the season in October. Actually, I did the breakdown. This makes sense. I did the breakdown of the Vancouver Canucks in November, so like 7 episodes maybe ago, and I was just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I remember talking about them if they were ever up, like they would start the game good, like they'd be up 2 goals, 3 goals, and for some reason that's when everything went to shit. Like, I remember talking about that a while ago, and the fact that 4 of those games that I talked about came when I talked about them, so that means another 4 came within the span of, I don't know what, like November to now, so I guess not bad in that sense. They just started off shit in the beginning of the season, and they had 4 games between then where they kind of shit the bed. So, but kind of crazy that 8 games blowing a lead like that is NHL
I just
history.
think the modern NHL, like there's a reason that is a new record, because the modern NHL, like a 2-3 goal lead is not safe anymore. Like teams are coming back from that pretty easily. Like you'll see like end of the first period 3-0, 4-1, and like it's still an open ball game. Like either team could still win it. So I think that's definitely a factor. But it's definitely a tough look for the organization, and they're looking at that like, holy fuck, what are we doing here, boys? They're currently on a 3-game losing streak, 4-6-0 in their last 10, which isn't horrid, you know. I just wanted to shout out another streak. Seattle Kraken 7-game win streak, leading over the Bruins the other night. Arizona Coyotes 7-game losing streak, not looking too hot there.
That's got to be a nice fire under the ass for the Kraken right there. You beat the best team in the league. 3-0 too, by the way.
That's a motivator for sure.
Yep.
And they're hunting for second place in their division, 2 points behind the Kings and 4 points behind first. So not bad. 2 games in hand behind first, 4 games in hand behind second. So Seattle Kraken looking to make a jump up the standings real quick.
I was going to say it again. It's crazy that it was an absolute 180 from last year. The Kraken were one of the worst teams in the league. This year, they're just climbing up that ladder. It's crazy. It's like they kind of figured it all out.
I'm going to touch on your team real quick here. The Minnesota Wild are in third in their division, 23-14-4. Kind of just locked in at that spot. The St. Louis Blues, who are kind of, average right now, 45 points, 5 points behind them. But they're 7 points behind the Jets and Stars, who are tied for first in the division.
Wow.
So they're kind of locked in at third right now. Everything can change, but just kind of a good gap on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what is it? Like the middle teams can like kind of change stuff around.
So the West is kind of getting more set, but the East is definitely very tight.
Yeah.
That Metropolitan Division is kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's very close. Like Carolina's at first with 59 points, and then the Devils are 57. New York Rangers are in third at 55, and then the Washington's in fourth at 52. I mean, it is just really close.
Takes
top four.
one game over the next guy to bump yourself up a little bit, get close.
The Atlantic is really where the gap really is. So the Boston Bruins currently 68 points, and then Toronto's 59. So like what you said earlier, like 9 points lead.
Yeah, one team is leading that gap though, because everything else can kind of be flipped a little bit too.
Right.
The records aren't too far off either. Like the Red Wings are eating up overtime loss points, 18, 15, and 7. Like they're just getting extra points, and they're currently in fourth place, ahead of the Sabres, who are 20-18-2. They technically have more wins in regulation than the Red Wings do, but they're behind them in the standings.
Wow.
Same number of games played.
Huh. Interesting. LA Kings really coming up there, huh?
Kicking ass, taking names.
Vegas Golden Knights, LA Kings, Seattle Kraken. Isn't that like a weird top 3 right there? Especially seeing Calgary.
After
Flames
last season, Battle of Alberta, I think everyone had those two at the lead, 1 and 2, and then Vegas probably 3.
Yep.
Kings they probably didn't look at. Seattle they probably didn't look at.
It's crazy. Did they like burn out? Like what's going on?
I like the pun, but I don't really know. Like it's kind of weird looking back and thinking about how we did our breakdowns for this division, because this division is so bad, dude. They're like every team in this division other than the Knights and the Kings going into the every team in this division other than the Knights, Flames, and Oilers looked terrible.
Yeah.
We're like, those 3 are locks for playoffs. Everyone else sucks.
I can't remember what I put Seattle Kraken as. I think I still put them pretty
You probably
low.
put them high. You probably just said, fuck it, I'll close my eyes and throw a dart at the board, and the Toronto Maple Leafs will win the cup.
Yeah, I guarantee you I was a mix between Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers for first in the Pacific. I can almost guarantee you that.
I feel like that was a go.
But I don't know. Just it's crazy how the turntables,
Oh, yeah. You ready for one right now? The Colorado Avalanche, 5th in their division. They're only ahead of the Coyotes and Blackhawks. Isn't that nuts? But that's another division that can all change because they're a point behind the Predators and 2 points behind the Blues.
But
it is nuts.
Yeah, we talked about them
I
last
love looking
week,
at
I
the
think.
standings.
Remember
Very boring talk, I think, for the listeners, but I like looking at this.
We're looking at the players too for Colorado. You're just like, oh my God, who's left on this team?
Who's on a heater too is Darcy Kemper. He's playing very well for Washington.
He's got to keep it up.
Yeah.
But I think we're done with the for this week.
Yeah,
I think
I
so
agree.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting week.
Fuck it. See y'all next week. No, I'm just kidding.
See you later. All right, let's see. We got Dr. McGillicuddy's again this week.
Yeah.
You gave me this, too, which I kind of like. The Truly Vodka Seltzer, cherry and lime.
It's a good endorsement. I appreciate that, Matt. I gave you a free drink. You tell me, yeah, it's all right.
I endorse
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Who needs to brush your teeth when you can just take McGillicuddy's?
Jesus Christ.
What, you didn't like it?
Hey, buddy, it's McGillicuddy's. It's always good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You just sounded kind of weird right there. What's up with the Jesus Christ?
You talking about not brushing your teeth tonight. You got to brush your teeth.
Oh, yeah, I brush my teeth. It's just a joke. But damn, am I minty. But let's call it out, buddy.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Check out posttopostpod.com. Peace.